Very good. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm sure that we'll have some people going that will pop on as we go. I really appreciate you all coming here. This is an important topic. My name is Todd McDonald. I'm the Director of Member Experiences and Impact and Retention for the Cascade Pacific Council. And what that really means is that I want to make sure that all of our programs and all of you have the tools you need to put on effective and exciting programs for kids. Also, I want to make sure that the tools that are provided and the energies that you all do will help your pack grow and keep kids and families involved. And so, when we start talking about program planning, which we're here today to do, um, we want to make sure that especially we look here to the fall, having a good, solid planned program is a huge part to not only I think the leadership of the pack sanity, but to help ensure parents and families and kids that there is a plan for the year that they know what to expect. They can organize their calendar. They and move forward. So when I talk to you about the importance of program planning, it really serves three pieces. One, kids always like to know what's next. So keeping your kids involved. Parents like to be able to have a good um, plan for their calendar so they fully understand that their time and needs. And three, you as a PAC committee, is important for you to have the ability to, schedule, plan, um, say, 90 days out. Has anybody called the berry patch to see if they're still going to take us? Has anybody, made arrangements to go to the Winter Hawks? We have that information to hand out to parents, those types of things. So let's go ahead and get started. I at the end of this webinar, I will use a PowerPoint, but until then, it is my plan just to use the tools that are already provided. So one of the things that I want to make sure you're all aware of is that in program planning, a lot of the stuff that you may use is readily available. It's ever updated here on the council's website. And so, if you don't know, the council's website is cpcbsa.org. And and this is where we spend a lot of time trying to make sure resources are there for you. There's several things here I want to point out to make your lives better. When we start talking about program planning, you'll see in the center adventures, programs, tools, and events. At the top of that is the event calendar. All right. This is a tool for you all. I'm not going to go into the entire website, but here is a how-to guide on how to use our council calendar and how to make it part of your calendar. But here is the council's calendar live as it goes. Like right now, OA Conclave is happening. That roundtable is coming up, next week. We've got Spirit Lake District Bigfoot search is coming up. These activities are happening, and you can use this as also as part of your program planning tools. You can take this and create your own and do a iCal, and this will explain how to do this on the new program calendar on how to um, do that. Okay. Here, all of you should be able to go to this new program planning guide for PACS. Click that and download this guide for you. Again, there's more information on here on things, and this webinar will ultimately be shown here as well. Now we're going to go on to the actual tool there. So this tool has been built especially for all of you for Cub Scouts. We have tools for Scouts BSA. National still has some of the best tools out there, but with any tools that you get the national site, you don't get what's happening in our own council. So here is the checklist of things that you need to do to plan your program. First, get any calendars that you've got. The previous pack year's calendar, definitely your school calendar, the council calendar. Either use the one that I showed you online, or actually in this tool is a paper copy of that calendar. And then make sure that you get your bank account together, because we're also going to be talking about budgeting. So making sure that you understand where your PAC's bank account is, who's the signer, who has the information, what are the statements from the last year, was there a budget from last year, and the like. The council segment list. This is kind of new because we would like you to consider using the segment list as a program planning tool. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. And then you'll want to go ahead and highlight certain key planned events. So there's a little list of them here. Obviously, we're in the popcorn time. We want to, join nights, bring a friend event. We want to orient new parents. Don't forget University of Scouting coming up on the 4th of November. If you don't know what that is, there'll be tons of information coming out about that, but it's a one-day event at Mount Hood Community College on a day where you get to learn everything you may want to know and a whole lot of things you didn't want to know about Scouts. Fall and winter service projects that you're going to do, Snow Day, how do you sign up for Snow Day, when you can do Pinewood Derby, the Spring Snack Attack or fundraiser, Bloom Gold, Scouting for Food just in the spring signed up. For those of you in Vancouver, I'm sure you'll just stick with Walk and Knock in December, which is great. A spring recruiting bay, summer camp, the Little Buckaroo horse rides, or even the Weeblos can go on horse rides. These are just some of the things that you'll want to do before you get started. And below here it says quick planning steps. We're going to actually do these things here in a second. So this bottom path here is if you were to try to do this without the webinar. So I'm going to skip past this and go to the second page. Okay, so I'm scrolling down to page 2. On this page is a page of all the months. And here's where you start, throwing activity. You can start throwing in things like join night. You can do, maybe you're going to go do, the back to school night. Maybe you're going to do park service project. And obviously you'll have a pack meeting. So you can put the number of scouts, you can start to budget what the costs are and move on. And then you want to do this for every week that you've got in there. Hold on just one second. I have somebody ask for something. I'm gonna go backwards just real quick. Just realize what you're asking here. All right. Now, I just moved around, but can I get a thumbs up if you're still looking at the page that shows the activities? A second. Okay, good. So I'm going to bounce away from this really quickly here to show you the next page and the other tools. We're going to explain once we do the program planning how you can quickly do a budget. That's going to come up here. But here's the council segment list. And we added a bunch of new segments this year. Most of these are available in the Scout Shop now. There's a couple new ones that are coming out that are not. But you start trying to come up with ideas of all the things that you can do. Might be a second, Aaron, where or I scroll and it refresh. So the a all so if you want to do a baseball activity, a BB gun activity, and then each one of these represents a segment you can buy at the scout store and present to them at the pack meeting. And so and there's 2 pages to this, and so the idea being is that just pull out these 2 activities, go through and have people circle it, send it out to the parents and families in the pack, and ask them what are the things that they want to do the most over the course of the year, and have them circle. And even a den, your den leaders can come up with their own plan and say, hey, listen, what we want to do is we want to go to OMSI in November. Well, if they go to OMSI in November, guess what? There's an OMSI segment that they can get, right? So this is a wonderful way because, as you all know, outside of getting their Bobcat badge, it takes Cub Scouts an entire year to get an advancement. So all year long, they're working towards something that's going to happen in the spring of the next year. What this does is gives us a wonderful opportunity to recognize kids as they go and throughout the year. Okay, real quickly now, before I get back to the whole program planning, let me go into some of the resources that are here. Oh, Jennifer Browning asked a question. I'll answer that now. The council, the Scout Shop is now selling a round council patch that that you all can get when you get the new uniform, and that's what they go around. It is possible that there may be other patches out there that you have that are round and fit, and maybe your district decided to do one just for them, um, and you'll just kind of help figure that out. See, another question came up here. How much do the segments cost? Ooh, I wish I was prepared for that. Let's say 50 to 70 cents a segment. I don't know that for certain, but that's my guess. Okay, moving on. So here is a little syllabus of other things. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here. I just want to show you that the first few pages is the tools, and the rest is appendix. And the appendix shows you all these materials that you can have, and where you can and where it exists in here that you can look. All right. So you may not want all of this. The feedback I got originally was, do not make the entire thing part of this guidebook. And I said, well, I tell you what, we'll do the program planning thing and then provide an appendix with activities or of stuff that you may want to use. So this is just for your thing. When you get a chance, you can look through there. There's things in here about how to do a join night, an activity catalog. It explains what summer camp is, what super weekends are, what is Little Buckaroo, what's Walk and Knock. It just kind of explains what a lot of these council events are. We find that many Cub Scout packs and parents have no idea when we talk about University of Scouting what it actually means. And so that's what this little catalog is here. There's a little piece in here about training. If I'm moving faster than this, the intent is just to kind of go over in basic what's here. Talks a little bit about Butte Creek Summer Camp and what you can expect for there. I'm hoping that you guys fill up Butte Creek and so much that I need to open up a whole nother summer camp. That's my goal for this year. So please, everybody go to camp. Again, the Webelos base program, if you haven't heard about it, the idea of taking the Webelos and doing a lot more, I like to call it big boy, big girl stuff, has been a huge hit. Anybody that's going to be turning 9 and 10 this next year, or in Bears or Webelos ones right now, should be doing that. You can use our council facilities, and there's information in here about what facilities are available to you, how you can do that, how do you go camping at one of our facilities, what weekends can you just sign up and go as your family. That is true. Yes, you and your family, as long as there's one registered person, could go camp at Camp Clark this weekend, or probably not now, but next weekend. and if it's available, and camp in a campsite all to yourself, or even rent a cabin. All that information's in here. Information about how to fund your pack, the spring sale, the fall sale. Also, information about how to keep your pack safe. Information that's out there, and also where do you go to for help? And so as you look at all and thing, and then finally it ends with a copy of our calendar, and on there you'll see monthly themes of things that we can do, and things that you can be thinking about in that month. So I'm going to go back up to program planning now. Just wanted to point out that all those are just resources for you. It may be too much. You may run into parents with their eyes glass over the minute that you start sharing too much stuff, but it's meant to be glanced at and to for people to learn it about over time, and kind of go on from there. Okay, so now we're putting down activities, and I'm going to just do this really quick. Let's say the join night, we're going to have 25 kids, and we're going to do, we're going to call that is going to be $1 per scout. Back to school night, well, we're going to this is not so much a scout thing, it's for all the people that are there, so we're only going to have maybe 5 scouts, and we're going to do this is going to be let's say really nothing. You're just going to take some flyers that this council is going to give you. Pack service project. You're going to budget 15 scouts, and you're going to buy snacks and stuff. Let's say $2 a person. And the pack meeting. Well, you don't worry so much about advancements. I don't think, because I think that's down here later. But let's just say that you've got skits and songs and activities, and you're going to budget a dollar. They're going to have you have, let's say, 20 kids in your pack, and you're going to have a budget of $2 per person. Okay, and so let's just say then in October you're going to go do the pumpkin patch. All right, in November you're going to go to the Winter Hawks. In December you're going to do a food drive, and you're going to in January, you're going to do Pinewood Derby. In February, you're going to have Blue and Gold. And you guys are going to go to the Children's Museum. In March, you're going to go to Snow Day. In April, you're going to do a family camp out. In May, you're going to go do Little Buckaroo horse ride. Just kind of throwing some things out here. June, you're going to have a parent picnic. July, you're just going to focus on summer camp. In August, you're going to have a day at the beach. And then you're going to also have pack meetings, let's say. Now you can do whatever you want, obviously. I'm just trying to give you an example as to how this tool might work as you guys, put together your program. You don't have to do these things. You can do other things. And let's say the pumpkin patch is $5 a person. Oh, you're going to do this with, let's say not everybody's going to go. You're going to take 15, and it's $5 a person. In the pack meeting, again, you're going to do $2 a per. Oops, you're going to do 20. 2 copy paste one. Okay, now let's see here. Just gonna quickly populate this down here. Yeah, of course you're going to be recruiting new kids all the time, so you're going to have everything here is going to be $2 up for Blue Gold. You're gonna have food and stuff there maybe. And again, these numbers may not be real for you. Obviously, look at your PAX budget from last year or go ahead and, oops, or Hawks, it says $20, or you're going to send, let's say 15. Everybody's going to go, 20. Food drive is only for cocoa. I'm going to send 20. Just be $1. Pinewood Derby, well, you got about $15 in that. 20, and that's going to be 15. And Children's Museum is 15. I can take 15, that's 15. Snow Day is going to be 15. 15. Bear with me here. Let's say this one here is going, you just decide it's going to be only 10 families going to go because that's what ends up happening. And you're going to do 20. Horse rides is 20. 20. Here, picnic is going to be only about $3 a per, 20, about 3. Everybody's bringing their own food. Summer camp, we'll just leave that as is because it's down below. And day at the beach, again, it's gonna be like the parent picnic. So we'll just say 20 and 2. All right. So, all right. So now we've done all of that. And we come in here, and of course we can pop in the dates and all that stuff in here. Okay, so next, now that you're completely bored of me doing data entry, but that's kind of what happens. You can have this up on a screen or somewhere where you're doing your program planning. The monthly activities, yes, is basically is about 2,200. Oh, and you have 20 kids in the pack. So it's about $112 a scout for your monthly activities. And that's everything. That's going to the horse rides and all those activities. And you're going to have registration. So let's say that you're going to have, you got 20 kids going to be registering. Let's say because of families, you're only going to have 17 Scouts Life. You're going to help and provide uniforms for the let's say 8 kids this year. Handbook. Everybody gets a new handbook every year. And you know that not everybody's going to go to summer camp, even though we'd like them to, but let's just say you say 15 is going to go to summer camp. All right. Adult registration. Let's say you have 9 adults. Um, and so that ends up being kind of all of that. Now, let's say it cost you, let's say it cost you $1,000 a year to rent your facility. Maybe you have a budget of $500 a year for equipment and another $500 for miscellaneous. I don't know what it is in your pack, but regardless, okay, you're sitting here and you're going, okay, well, that's $600 per scout, and that includes summer camp. The idea being is you're going to get these totals, and you realize that your pack is going, to fund your pack for the entire year. Okay, you're going to need $13,365. That includes getting everybody to summer camp. All right. Well, how do we pay for that? Well, the commission for the popcorn sale right now is that. So let's say that we can sell $20,000 in popcorn sale. So now that I've done that, the dues for the scout has gone all the way down to $318. Okay, well, let's sell $15,000 in candy. Oh, let's see, and candy is probably about 30%. I can't remember. Let's say it's 30. Oops. Change that here. So 0.3. So now if we can do those two things, and let's just say that we're going to do a cakewalk or car wash or whatever, and this is going to be 100%. And well, and you're going to do On average, you're going to do 20. You're going to do let's say $800 in that, and the car wash. All right. So now, and then maybe you decide that you know what, people, what happens if we sell $30,000 in or 20? What did I say? 25,000 in popcorn. All right, it's $1,200 per person, and right now, you have to give $34 to every kid when you're done. My point is, as I'm trying to show you here, is that you may first decide that challenge yourself to figure out how to budget for the entire year. All right, one exciting thing. If you take this page here and this page here and you email it to Carrie Hutchcraft, make sure you put your PAC number on there, we will send you a ribbon for your PAC flag. So we want to see who has done this, and when you do it, go ahead and send that out to Carrie Hutchcraft at scouting.org, and we will make sure that you guys get a flag for your PAC flag, showing that you are a super PAC for the year for planning your program. So I want to make sure that you're aware that each of you have what's called a district executive. You can go online to contacts. You can kind of figure out what your district is. If you don't know your district, email me with your hometown and I'll tell you what that is. By the way, my email is toddmcdonald@scouting.org. And I'll make sure you know what district you're in. But your district executive and your what's called your district commissioner has a group of volunteers who are there just to help you do that. They want to help make sure that you have good join nights, that you guys get trained, that you can do your program planning. They answer your questions about all the things. Let's say you're having trouble trying to figure out how to recruit volunteers or do something, you can reach out to them. Okay, in addition to that is myself. We also have impact and retention executives. And these people, they're kind of like full-time helpers. And they're focusing predominantly on PACs. Right now, they're focusing on three main tasks. One, you want is to make sure that you have successful joining activities. We know that that will help make for a strong PAC. That two, did you get these programs planned? Best that we get our programs planned, we know you'll have a stronger PAC. And three, if all your adult leaders get trained, we'll know that you have a strong PAC. And then finally, if you have leaders that go to the University of Scouting, we'll know that you are showing the signs of having a strong, healthy PAC. And those are the things we want to make sure that we're helping you do right now. Right now, I'd like to go, and I'm going to stop share, and I'm going to go to PowerPoint. Once you got this thing planned, how can I get help, right? How do we get people to engage? And I got to tell you, I've been doing this for such a long time, I guess. I've seen a lot of good ways and a lot of bad ways. All right. So, you should see the PowerPoint that says how to involve parents to lead PAC activities. All right. So let's talk about that. The next slide is what not to do. And I've seen this. Email everyone and ask them to volunteer. Stand up at a meeting and say, if we can't have a volunteer, we won't be able to do this activity. Divide everything up by those who attend the PAC committee meeting and do it yourself. Give up on calendar planning and volunteer recruiting altogether. I've seen all these tactics used, and very rarely are they successful. All right, so let's talk about the right way of doing this. I got a couple ideas and things to share. If you're involved in volunteer recruitment, make some general assumptions. Walk into every thing about in this process to do this. I have been recruiting volunteers for 30 years, actually 32 years now. I've definitely learned that there are ways that people will generally help. and there's ways that they don't, but it's very important that I walk into every situation with these key assumptions. One is that people want to help. People don't want to fail or look incompetent, right? That's dollars for donuts. People don't want to waste their time. Everyone has a superpower, and everyone can do something. Their time and energy and stuff leaves them to the ability to help with something. When people say no, it's not about you. I'll say that one again. If you ask somebody to help and they say no, it is not about you. Rejection is something that's really debilitating. Most importantly, most people don't know what you know. So you're sitting there saying, hey, we're thinking that it would be great if you would take on Pinewood Derby this year. You're assuming that they know anything about what it takes to do Pinewood Derby, right? No, they don't. So remember, when you're talking to them, assume they know nothing. So you have to come kind of equipped with other tools. Okay. All right. Here's some general tactics. First, identify all the activities and tasks needing help. And I would do this with your key leaders, your den leaders, and all that, and throughout the in your, and maybe as part of your program planning process. But here's all the tasks that you need done. What is the profile of the person who would best do the task? Right? There are people out there that are organizers. There are people who love to manage kind of money, and some people who really love to be behind the scenes. There are some people who are gregarious and love to be in front of the group. And likewise, there are people who will no way want to get up in front of a group. And there's other people that would prefer to help behind the scenes. Also, there's some people that are more happy to take on one activity in the year versus doing an ongoing activity. So what type of person do you need? Of the parent resources in your pack, who best falls into these categories? So have a discussion with you and your den leaders, right? And try to identify the people. Also, and who are people who socialize outside of scouting? So you're running these people who are friends. They come in, their parents, their kids are in sports together and other things, and they enjoy each other outside of scouting in other ways. Because when in doubt, recruit a buddy, and we're going to talk about that here next. All right, here is one of the techniques that I think is most successful. Is you take your research and you with a buddy or set up buddy teams, ask each person for help. No, don't start off by saying, "Hey, listen, we would like you to be the run blue and gold." No, 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 no. Say, "Hey, Kathy, man, I could use your help." And they say, "Oh, what do you need?" Right? Question mark. Maybe not. Now this is scary. Oh no, oh no, here it comes. Well, you'll hear all of that. I've heard it all. And say, we've been talking about blue and gold and believe that you would be perfect at running this activity. But before you think anything about this, you should know three things. We know that you can make a difference and do this well. We promise we won't waste your time. And we, as a committee, will not let you fail. And before I go into more detail as to what this is and the time period and all the things, let me ask you a question. Is there someone in the pack that would be a good buddy to help you with blue and gold? We're thinking that that Joe and Janice would be good people to help. That between them, I think that they would be a wonderful group of people to put this together. But I don't know. What do you think? And if they don't have an idea, say that then we'll be your buddy, and we'll help put together a group of people to help make sure that this event is successful. You may get a no from that, or I need to think about it. Think about it is almost always a stall. and say, before you go in, before you let them leave, say, what would we need to do to make you feel the most comfortable about taking on this task? What are the biggest hurdles in your way that's preventing you from doing this that we might be able to help you with? Also, make sure that they know that they're not alone. Okay. All right. So next, in some cases, you're in a situation where you've kind of done this time and time again, or whatever, and you've just really struggled. You get a whole lot of people who are not fully engaged in the pack and don't know, and you don't have the relationships with them to make them feel comfortable about saying yes. So let's go with a another option. I did this with my pack, by the way. I was a not only have I been recruiting volunteers, I actually was a den leader and a cub master and a committee chairman. Got to the point where that the parents came to us and suggested this, and we said, okay, let's give it a shot. And it worked. So we took the council calendar, or the district, or the pack calendar, and we assigned all the activities to dens. And at the beginning of the year, we had a parent meeting, and we assigned them all to the dens. And we shared that we didn't want the den leaders to be in charge of any of these activities, but we would like that each den put together a parent volunteer coordinator in the den that will help run their activity. So, when you're a lion, then you're in charge of the service projects. When you're tigers, you're in charge of the sporting events. We went to the Pickles and we went to Winterhawks or something like that. Wolves did the Pinewood Derby. Weeblos did the fundraisers. Arrow of Light had blue and gold. Pick a thing, however you may want to do that. But we just divided it up into those things. And so and then we asked who was going to be from the den, who was going to be our contact. And we made sure it wasn't the den leader to run that activity. They'd let us know, and each month we looked at 90 days out, and we'd make sure that we would invite that person to the committee meeting 90 days out. And so at 90 days out of any activity, we just made sure the people in the room that were doing those activities, and if we found out that somebody was behind, then we stepped up and helped them. And it's a lot easier to be in charge to help somebody who's in charge of an event who's struggling than to run an event yourself. At least I felt that way as a committee chairman. So popping in and helping them, sending them a reminder, hey, listen, do you want to sit down before the next pack meeting? We can do that, or you want to meet for coffee? And that's just what we did. All right, so that is the webinar at its finest. The basic information about how to plan the resources that you have, where to go to for help. Thank you for your time. Again, if you have any questions, I put my email in there. Feel free to email me directly. Know that that we at the council office just want to help make sure that you have the best possible year and do what we can to be there for you. So for those there, thank you very much for attending. Thank you all so much.